I'm Claire Stanhope. I've been teaching for about 20 years, and this film reflects both the personal and professional journey and hopes to open up a conversation around the relationship between cultural capital and art, craft, and design education. I call it a journey, but in actual fact, the more I've become embroiled in the question of cultural capital, the more I've realised it is a journey that is always in the middle. It is an ever folding relationship, a learning through unlearning that I hope to share with you here. Cultural capital and its relation to art, craft, and design education is one of the key points often brought up to qualify the strengths of this subject. We know that the more cultural capital a child has, the more experience of various cultural genres a child has, the more likely they are to be socially mobile, and as we know, this subject is vital in this endeavour. Every child has a right to explore their creativity, as stated in Article 31 of the UN Convention of the Rights of the Child, and this right is founded in sharing personal, social, and cultural understanding. It builds connections, creates community, and supports tolerance. But beyond the realm of the person, this subject also supports the economy. The vast array of job prospects in the creative industries is astonishing. From the moment we awake until the moment we go to bed, we are surrounded by the innovation of creative jobs, from the patterns on our bedding to the designs on our cereal boxes and the films and TV shows we devour through Netflix. Life would be unimaginable without creative people. This should not be relegated to purely benefiting this field. Art and design education is needed across industry. Creativity is at the heart of science, engineering, and maths, hence the drive towards STEAM rather than STEM. How can we imagine a future which is fraught with the prospect of global warming, of famine and disease without creative thinkers? This subject is vital now more than ever. Art has the capacity to engage with all of our senses. That provides an embodied experience of life which opens up alternative ways of thinking about the world. Inherent with such exploration is risk-taking. Educational theorist Dennis Atkinson would describe this as a process characterized by the idea of the not known, and that which is not yet is a process of adventure. This adventure that Atkinson discusses instigates critical questioning. It seeks out and challenges the world around us, holds people to account, holds ourselves to account. It supports creative thinking, being able to explore ideas from different perspectives, coming in sideways to queer, normalised knowledge bases. But if we are truly to engage with the question of cultural capital, it is not these go-to qualities of our subject, but the gaps between them that is important. It is very easy to skim across the question of cultural capital with all the things I have highlighted, and all are true, but it is also a subject that is imbued in colonial heritage. It survives in institutions that are shown to be inherently sexist and racist. So it is in the middle of all these facets that I situate the need and importance of questioning exactly what cultural capital means. Yes, we have amazing job prospects, but we know there is a detrimental lack of diversity in the creative industries. Yes, we know that this subject is key in developing cultural capital, but whose culture is privileged? Why do we often see the same white male artists positioned as the greats? What has been erased? Who is missing? Why do our cultural institutions often avoid difficult conversations around the heritage of the objects that we hold dear? How does our education affect our knowledge base? How does our unconscious bias affect our understanding of cultural capital? How does it infiltrate our lessons, our planning, and therefore, most importantly, our students? Without the reflection on our own behaviours, our own unconscious bias, we cannot explore these questions in our classroom, and the more we question, the greater the need to unlearn. The more we unlearn, the more gaps appear, but also the more opportunities arise. As the arts are a conduit through which we challenge the world around us, it's high time we turn this subject and folded it back in on itself to review what we privilege and who we erase. This has become particularly pertinent in the current political climate of social inequalities in light of COVID-19 and racial tensions heightened by the murder of George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter campaign. This is a subject that can lead and should lead the way in moving from ignoring difference within the curriculum to differencing, a diffraction of curriculums, not to erase, but to disrupt, to question, to queer, and to decolonise. To create what the educational theorist Bell Hooks advocates, a pedagogy of hope, a pedagogy that actively chooses to be anti-racist. But to truly seek to investigate our curriculums, we have to search beneath, dive into the gaps. All the vibrant and important aspects of this subject still remain, but these aspects need to be scrutinised through our basic human right to self-identify, not be discriminated against regardless of our race, sexuality, gender, age, ability, and so on. How do our curriculums address the various people which it serves? As I've tried to suggest through the film, education and our pedagogical practice is an assemblage. To draw on the physicist Karen Parad is not an interaction between these things, but an intra-action within these things. It is an acknowledgement that we are all learners. The need to question our heritage and take a closer look at society is now urgent, and as educators we are at the forefront of that call. So although I do not propose I have all, if any, of the answers to this, I do come armed with multiple questions and various practices through which I am also in process.